Namaste. Did you know that over 40% of people give up on their New Year's resolutions after the first month? Less than 10% of people actually succeed in achieving their goals long term. Now I want you to ask yourself, how many times have you set a goal? Perhaps to get fit, save money, or finally start practicing yoga? And how many times did you actually see it through? We often struggle to achieve our goals, not because of a lack of effort, but because of how our goals are structured. That's why in today's video, we'll be setting a SMART goal. The acronym SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So what does that exactly mean? Let's start with specific. When determining what it is you want to achieve, you want to be as specific and clear as possible. The more narrow your goal, the more you know what steps are necessary to achieve it. And this goes hand in hand with the second element, which is measurable. By quantifying your goal, adding numbers, it becomes easier to track your progress and know when you've actually reached the finish line. So instead of saying, I want to practice yoga, which is very vague, let's get into the nitty-gritty details. Ask yourself, how often do you want to practice yoga per week? And how long should each practice last? For example, to stick with our challenge, we could say, I'm going to practice 30 minutes of yoga every single day. Next up is attainable. Of course, our goal has to be in reach, not some high pedestal that we can never ever get to. If you've only ever practiced yoga a handful of times, don't expect yourself to suddenly start practicing 2 hours every day. Basically, this is the point in the goal-setting process where you give yourself a bit of a reality check. Ask yourself, can I really dedicate 30 minutes daily to my yoga practice? And if not, then what works for me? Make the most of this challenge by making it your own. Next, we have relevant. Ask yourself why you want to practice yoga. There are many great reasons, but what is your reason specifically? It's important to answer this question because all of your goals should align with your values and your bigger long-term goals. Last but not least, our goal has to be time-bound. Good goals do not stretch into infinity, they have a deadline. By setting an end date, we give ourselves incentive and motivation, and we help us to prioritize this goal. Essentially, we've already done this step for you. It's called a 30-day challenge after all. But if you already know that you can't devote 30 minutes every day to your yoga practice, then of course you're welcome to set a different, more realistic end date for yourself. And here you have it. Your goal should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. SMART. So as an example, for this challenge, you could set the goal, I'm going to practice 30 minutes of yoga every morning for the next month to complete the 30-day challenge. By setting such a clearly defined goal, it becomes easier to know the steps you have to take, and you can really see your progress instead of just seeing an infinite, long, complicated journey. So, set your goal, write it down on your habit tracker, and place it somewhere where you can see it to be reminded. I also invite you to share your goal in our Facebook community. I'm looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow, where we talk about setting an intention.